"Would you like to come out today?" "Oh, yes, please," said Edward. So they lit his fire, made lots of steam, and Edward puffed away.
Hello everybody! Welcome back to everybody's favorite series, Headcannon Facts. Hooray! Let's get into it. Fact 1. Being an island very fond of its trains, Sodor has several miniature gauge railways, both publicly and privately owned. The Arlesdale is not the only one. An example of one of these is the Lakeside Miniature Railway, managed by the Lakeside Model Club. It's a short loop which runs next to the lake part of the railway. There's a small request stop platform here for the Skarloey, though it's rarely used as the town is right there. The tiny engines often race the Skarloey Law on the section which runs next to the narrow gauge, to the delight of many, except Sir Handel. Fact 2. A bit ago I talked about the Crovan's Gate Engineering Company's private engine, Denny. Well, he wasn't the only one they owned. Number 1 was a coffee pot the engineers built out of spare parts, inspired by A.W. Dry & Co. Unfortunately, they were a victim of the 1927 fire, and what was left of them was scrapped. In the wake of this, the shops built 2 new engines from bits of old locos. Ratchet and Socket, as they would come to be known, shunted around the works and performed various odd jobs on the island. When an accident occurred, they were usually the 2 on the scene. Although good-natured, they also come off as a bit grumpy and irritable to the other engines. Despite this, they're hard workers and did their jobs diligently until the 80s, when they would decide to retire. They now live at the island's railway museum and are content with their lives. Fact 3. Splatter and Dodge are a pair of BR D3-12s who were loaned to help construct a new coal mine outside Abbey after Percy, Originally, they came with another third diesel, but I'll have to talk about him another day. Once the coal mine was completed, they were purchased by the new company, and now shunned at the mines and help with deliveries. They enjoy their pranks, but they're a lot better than Bill and Ben. Though I suppose that's not hard, is it? They're good at their job, though, and are proud to supply their steam engine friends with plenty of fuel. Fact 4. The Kilney-Foss branch line was built in the early 90s after coal was discovered in the northeast of the island. Coal mines were gradually being shut down across Britain, and coal importing would soon not be an option, so it was clear the mine on the Peel Gauget couldn't keep up with demand. Thus, it was decided to construct a new branch line to transport coal from Kilney-Foss to the rest of the island. Stations were built to connect the villages in the northeast to the network as well. The terrain here is very steep in some places, necessitating that the resident 280s top and tail the long coal trains down to Vickerstown. Despite this, Pepper and Peyton, the 280s in question, don't struggle much with their work. A DMU called Sal takes the passengers, and the mine is run by a little engine called Elias, both of whom were bought second-hand. Maybe third-hand for Elias? I don't know, nobody really knows where he came from. Fact 5. In the late 1980s, as nuclear energy started gaining traction, a nuclear power plant was constructed past Kirk Ronan. Uranium is collected from the old lead mines at Toyrek and transported via NWR to the plant. The cement works line was used to connect up to it, much to Fergus's displeasure. Although certain engines were concerned about its construction, it has proved a valuable source of clean energy for the island. It has a very good safety record, only having 1 incident being recorded in the entirety of its existence. But that, of course, is another story. It still operates today, and engineers are looking to rebuild it in the future to harness nuclear fusion, a safer method of power production. Now into the questions. The Suburbaner asks, is there any Stafford lore? Stafford is a battery electric engine who shunts at the big station, arriving in the 1970s to help with the growing workload. He was built for the NSR as a batch of 2 in 1917, and nobody really knows how he survived into the 70s. She is very smart, being able to easily perform complex calculations and call back on her extensive knowledge of railway workings. He is quiet in both propulsion and disposition, but when he does talk, he is always courteous and friendly. It's hard to find an engine who doesn't like Stafford. Sasha the Tank Engine asks, how many standard class engines are present on the island? Both built by BR and the Northwestern. 20, unless I've miscounted. This made me realize that the only BR standards on the island are Barry and Arthur, and both of them are Class 2s, albeit one is a tank engine. Percy the Ram asks, does Elsie exist near AU? Yes. Elsie was built by the Northwestern after the Farquhar branch was extended to Ulfstead. Henrietta needed more space for passengers, so a separate luggage van was built for Toby's consist. Elsie is essentially Henrietta and Toby's daughter. She is certainly a handful, as most children are. Of course, being the loving parents they are, Henrietta and Toby care for her well. But her quarrels with their brother Edgar can get annoying. NW Guy 475 asks, what is the official language of Sodor? Like the rest of the UK, it's English. Sudric began to decrease in usage as Sodor transitioned from its own kingdom to a part of England, with the language almost becoming extinct. Luckily though, like most things on the island, it has not been entirely forgotten. A resurgence in Sudric's use has seen that it is now taught in Sudrian schools, and although there are few to no native speakers, most Sudrians know a decent amount of the language. Tank Engine Media asks, what is Duke and Smudger's relationship nowadays? They're chill. Duke and Smudger might not have hit it off during the mid-Sodor days, but Duke thinks the whole generator thing was way too harsh. When Duke was rescued, he made sure that Smudger was saved as well. They treat each other like family now, and during the summertime, when the work is over, they both enjoy their naps in the sun. Thank you for 1,500 subscribers! What a milestone! Thank you all for the support. It is really appreciated. I've got something special planned to celebrate which is related to this series, so stay tuned for that. As for now, this is EdwardsDayOut, signing off.